any headphones as it's done. We're so excited. I apologize for how it is. Sometimes when you're trying to say that down, we're excited, and we're excited that you're here. Song on in my ear. Oh, right when I say that it ends. Right when I say that's my timing. Um, so Rion is here. He's kind of like double duty right now. He's checking out the web page, making sure that everything is working well for you guys. But we're really, really excited about this project. This is literally this is like a manifestation that I'm walking through at this moment. So I really do appreciate all of you for showing up and for being here. This is something that we both wanted to create because there is it's such an exciting time that we're living in right now. We're a part of like this huge revolution of consciousness and the heart opening. And that's why we named this Hard On Radio. It's meant to make you giggle. It's meant to make you laugh. We're here to have some fun and learn some things and expand our consciousness and do this together. So I want this to be a journey for all of us to kind of hold hands and walk through. So one of my favorite things when I watch some of these videos or I listen to blog talk radios is I really love taking those 3 simple breaths to kind of center and ground yourself and find yourself, because we all know how crazy it is out there. So I'm going to do that with you now. Let's just take a couple of breaths in and out. Oh, I feel like I'm getting a little smoky here as I breathe. I have to apologize in advance. I come from a comedy background, and I'm primarily an actress. So for me, being just behind a microphone here, I'm like, how does this work? How's this sound for you? Okay, let's do a few more breaths. Sorry about that. Here we go. Deep breath in. Bigger breath in. Exhale. A long day's worry, thought, and move it out. And one final breath. Ooh. And breathe it out, shake it off. That feels so good. There's so much power in the breath, which I think is why yoga is incredible and meditation and all of these things. And we just take a pause to breathe. It is so centering and it helps the brain and it passes the blood around and all that delicious stuff. So tonight, for our first night, it's interesting because we've been wanting to get this up and running for a little while, right? And I had this huge, first of all, I don't know if anybody else is feeling these crazy waves of energy. And if you're empathic, I feel like it's been extra difficult, but we are warriors. We are empathic warriors. That's why we've been given this job, because we are strong enough to handle it. But there's a lot coming in to the planet, and Gaia is ascending, and we are ascending, and there's these huge frequencies hitting us. So I feel like that can come in the form of a lot of lethargy, some anxiety, some of those lower frequency things. And I think they're just no longer able to exist where we're headed. And so that's why that big purge is happening. So a lot of this is coming in, right? And then we've been wanting to get this off the ground. I had this huge day where I was like, you know what? I need to get offline. I need to get off the grid, and I need to just meditate. And I had these big downloads of really needing to ground the love frequency into Mother Gaia, whether it be with dance. And shout out to my girl Sarah, who does an amazing Zumba class. But really what she's doing is she's teaching us all to kind of pound that love high vibration frequency into the ground, and boom, it just blasts through Gaia and all of us. So I had these huge downloads, right? The next thing I know is I look up and there's this huge event happening in the Mayan calendar today. So clearly, today was the day that this was meant to happen. Today is the first day of the 64th day in the 9th wave of the Mayan calendar. Whoa, that's like a lot of information. But there's basically the Mayans are brilliant. We know that, right? And strangely enough, I just went on a spiritual cruise and went all over the Yucatan Peninsula and went and gridded Chichen Itza. So I was there literally like chucking crystals around the place, trying to hide from security, chucking crystals, got the job done. And it's so bananas how things line up, because here we are at the precipice of the unity consciousness and the age of the heart. So what does that mean? The Mayans, the reason they had all of their pyramids on stacked with 9 steps is because it literally represents timelines and stages in evolution. That's why I know people went crazy, 12, 21, 12, the world's going to end. No, it wasn't. The Mayans really, they figured out a way to measure, predict when huge events were going to be taking place in the evolution of man. So that's what that's all about. And the 9th wave is really exciting. That's the wave of unity consciousness and the age of the heart. So I think that's why a lot of us are, I know that's why a lot of us are expanding so much, and we're thirsty and hungry for more, and we're seeing, you know, all the negative things in the news pushing against us, and we're in an uproar. To me, it's like the fall of the Roman Empire is happening. We can't continue on the path that we've been on, and that is so apparent and obvious with politics and everything when you look around. It is so obvious. So what do we need to do? I think the main thing, you can get caught up in all the cosmic drama, you can get caught up in all of the different storylines and timelines, but truth of the matter is you need to have your heart on. We need to be working from a heart chakra, not from the mind, okay, not from what the brain has computed, none of that. We need to be coming from a heart space. And how good does that feel and resonates so perfectly, so brilliantly. So that's really what this show is all about, is come on down, get your heart on. What?
That's right.
So Rion's been clicking away. I think we're locked and loaded. I think we're up and ready to go. He needs no introduction because, well, probably all of you are coming in because he's on air. But he has been downloading and channeling and has got, you know, some more amazing things to interject here about the unity consciousness and the Mayan calendar. So we're stoked to have Rion De'Rouen, the Frenchman over here. Oui, bonjour. So I'm hoping that you guys are seeing the link. I hope that you're connecting. You're able to see all of that. But I invite you to just kind of like relax, sit back, let's have a conversation. And what's really exciting is we're actually going to, what I want to do with this show is I also want it to be like pretty much a home, like a safe haven, right? So we have a phone number. Y'all can call in. And this is like real deal here. Y'all can call in. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys are experiencing. This is something that we are going to do together. So we are all an important part of the puzzle of this huge, massive evolution in consciousness. We're ready to raise up to higher dimensions. And isn't that obvious? I don't know why people would be holding on to the old when it's time to make room for the new.
That's right.
So anyway, again, I am thrilled to have Rion here. How you feeling, honey? Because he's clicking away, trying to get this locked and loaded for you guys.
I am a master of many hats, you know, so absolute pleasure being here.
Many hats or many headphones?
Many headphones.
Many
headphones. Just go ahead and crank this up, yeah.
Gains on the microphone.
Let's go ahead and turn those gains up. How you guys doing out there across planet Earth? I am Rion, and I'm here to crush some galactic flavor for you. Our amazing star of the show, Miss Shauna Ava, has done an amazing job here at Heart On Radio to create that safe haven for you guys. We're going to be doing a lot of things. What I notice at night when I go to sleep, I'm usually putting on Rainbow Abundance or some sort of audio track to actually, you know, not only raise my frequency, but kind of tell me what's going on the planet. And minus all the robot voice, you know, if you guys read those channels out there. I kind of like the robot voice sometimes.
I like the British robot voice.
I don't know if there is a British robot voice,
kind of
but it's possible. My main thing is the consciousness. They have that certain discipline, or that what they used to do when you learn a new language, you used to put on audio tapes when you went to sleep. With the consciousness, and especially Rainbow Abundance and Matt Muckelroy's channel and some of the new stuff out there, I actually like to listen to that while I go to sleep. And I also, constantly absorbing consciousness, constantly asking questions. One of the coolest things about being activated as a human being is obviously meeting your higher self, talking to your higher selves, your highest selves, relating different information. When I spent personal time with Corey, we hung out at my house, then I gave him a ride, to the airport, up to Flagstaff Airport when he was leaving after the Sedona Cosmic Awakening conference. I got to ask him some personal questions. I'm like, yo, homie, so like, what's going on Saturn, like, for real?
Like off the record.
I mean, off the record. I got homies up there, right? Third planet, right-hand side, third moon. What's up? And I asked them about all kinds of cool stuff, because stuff that, in the beginning, guys, when you guys are waking up, a lot of this stuff seems very foreign. The issue is that obviously when your third eye comes on, your DNA gets a little more activated, and obviously your throat chakra comes on. These conversations, or these templates of consciousness or belief systems that you begin to ask yourself or ask your higher selves, they come through very, very, with a matter of fact. Your higher selves don't waste words. Your higher selves are here to show and reflect the version of you that you would most like to be like. This duality games allows us to choose. Would you like to be more night side or more light side? For me on this planet, and having a lot of the skill sets I do, obviously, some of you guys know this, some of you guys don't know this. When I spent that 6.5 years traveling the planet, I was gone every 60 days, on 60 days, doing different activations around the planet. I actually went and collected my soul pieces very, very quickly. In this day and age, the fact you can hop on an airplane and be across the planet in 12 to 14 hours and be at a location or an activation site in like 18 hours, hotels, airport straight to the hotel, get your gear straight to an activation point. I got to accelerate very, very quickly. And that was something very cool. Back in the day, traveling around the planet 3 times, do you know how long that was?
Grab your camel, your donkey.
Grab your camel, your donkey,
in 4 years.
Your pirate ship, and whatever else you need. So there are benefits, pros and cons to being here in this consciousness now. Back in the day, we didn't have all of this rhetoric and things being broadcasted through our fields. Everything from the lily waves that they're broadcasting through the dirty electricity most power companies are delivering, to, if you guys don't know what a lily wave is, the guy that actually, forget his name, but
sounds pretty.
A lily wave. Basically, there's a pulse of energy that is sent out in a wave form, where they found out that when they were training dolphins, that the wave arcs up and then it bends down, then arcs back up. Well, in that trough is actually where you can insert information. So once they figured that out, that you could send electrical pulses with basis of information in the trough of the wave that could be receptive to a biological being or a chemical computer, hence our brains. The issue is that they understood you could program things. Well, that's the bottom of the cage, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all of those electrical wires are running through your house 24 hours a day, 365. Okay, not a big deal. You guys can get some green wave, dirty electricity filters. That's a green wave. You can also get the originals, which is like some German company, starts with an S. Stetson or something. I don't know. I looked it up the other day. I was trying to get some more for the house because I'm putting some Heineken Wein. Sorry. Anywho, don't pollute. But what I'm trying to say is
don't pollute. There you go, y'all. That's
yeah. So basically, now with the Wi-Fi issues, right? The cell phone towers, okay, and the smart meters. Let's just break this stuff down for you guys. If you guys are in California, you guys had that smart meter thing automatically imposed upon you. You had dudes actually showing up from the power company, actually switching out your boxes. You had no say. Here in Sedona, we fought tooth and nail to keep our analog smart meters. And if you guys want to watch a cool video on that, type in Sedona versus smart meters. There are some very, very highly intelligent people in Sedona, and there's a lot of ex-retired military and private sector and military scientists who all live out here in the high mountains of northern Arizona. So when all these guys showed up to the city hall meeting, you won't believe it's like the amount of brain power that showed up. Like half of like TRW retired showed up. Half of Northrop retired, showed up. Anyone that's out in Arizona. So the issue is that no one wanted the smart meters because all of those scientists knew that every night at 3 a.m, they send electromagnetic pulse from house to house to actually do the, hands-free measuring. The issue is that electromagnetic pulse sends a wave through your dream time. It's a very strong pulse. Hence, it's a power company EMP blast, which is being sent house to house. Now, they're saying the issues are not as bad as a cell phone. Here's the issue. It's not that when it's on, it's bad as a cell phone. When it sends a pulse, it's like 1,000 times worse. So let's just be honest. Do the research yourself. Like I said, all this information is out there, and a lot of very wise and intelligent people have been fighting this for quite some time. Here's the issue. Stay analog. Don't go digital. When anything's too good to be true and that actually serves the corporations, pay attention to it. Okay? It's not serving you. It's serving those that are very lazy at the very, very top, who wish to do less work, pay less employees, and make more profit. Okay, real on you, but that's how my brain functions. Now, us as a society and a population and what this unity consciousness is all about, we are stronger as a unit. Our minds combined are unimaginably powerful. Our energies combined are unimaginably powerful. Fully integrated human beings with their DNA activated, there's nothing on the planet that can stop you whatsoever. You actually expand to a degree where you actually treat beings of lesser consciousness as children. It's very interesting for my star seeds and some of the galactics out here walking around in popsicle suits to actually understand that our leadership, or whatever this is on this planet, is based upon a person that only has a dimensional understanding of 3D. To me, that is not only completely ludicrous and unrealistic, but it's like having leaders that have blindfolds on lead hundreds of millions of people. So I'm just trying to be clear here as far as what's available here on Earth, and these kids and these indigos coming in, and our importance to actually raise them properly, raise them in their hearts, and raise them in a place of non-separation. From a galactic standpoint, I've had these discussions upstairs. This is what they say. Well, son, as the consciousness rises, they will stop doing some of these ridiculous things. Well, me and my family, you guys out there across planet Earth, we're the catalysts to the human race on Earth, period.
Yep.
So there's a little fire that comes with that. Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, that's why I always think of Team Light and what Rion has created and started is literally a movement. That's what we are upon. This is a movement where the consciousness, the heart unites, and we change it. And the future is in our hands. We can paint whatever we want and step into that and literally live in bliss, in heaven on earth. That has always been our opportunity here. And now, energetically, the earth and galactically, we are right in the sweet spot for that to happen. So to me, you guys are all Team Light members. We are all 100%. In this mission together. I love that. Unite the collective. I don't want to name drop, but it's so easy to say. It just rolls off. It just does.
I want to say something to the leaders of this planet, as far as the political or corporations. And I want to express something to you very, very dear to my heart. We upstairs do not blame or point fingers at you. We understand that some of you guys that run some of these things don't have the full picture of what you're promoting, nor what you're serving. What we're trying to remind you of, do unto others as you'd have done unto you. Because let me express something to you, and all the ladies and gentlemen across planet Earth, and later in life, when this is like a, recorded archive, right, of when we were here, I want to express something to you. When you show up on this planet, when you are born with nothing. And when you leave this planet, and you exit this life, you leave with nothing. The only thing that you leave with is your experience and how many beings that you've helped and saved and brought to a higher frequency. That is what the courts of heaven, that is what the angels of heaven look at. They don't care how much money you have. They don't care what your material wealth is. You know,
the heart lighter than the feather, right?
Yes. And my thing is that I've been on these councils upstairs in past lives. And some of my higher selves sit on these councils now. And I just feel like we're here to educate our family and remind us what the point of incarnating and evolving and interacting is. You know, I like to call Earth, it's emotional school 101 for all the beings, that are above 8D. It's rehab, energetic rehab for 4, 6, 8, and 10th dimensions. And back to this Mayan calendar of the 9th wave, let's be honest with this. If you guys stare at the Mayan calendar, and I've seen some videos on it, I know we were researching this for the past couple of days, getting prepared for this broadcast and speaking with you guys. The most important thing is those 9 levels of consciousness, those 9 waves of consciousness, with all of those day and night separations as you go up the vertical, right? The main thing to understand is that everything is in a cycle, but everything has a function. And the evolution function is change. Change is a constant in the universe. Mm-hmm. So what is allowable 5,000, 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, 1,500 years ago, 300 years ago, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, that average is not, that is not where we are now. The bar keeps getting raised. If you think that you can do things the same with the same consciousness, right? That famous quote, if you try to solve the world's problems with the same consciousness that created it, you're going to have a very hard time doing that. Mm-hmm. The issue for us is as starseeds, as indigos, as angelics, as awesome Gaia's kids, whatever vocabulary term you choose, us light beings, right? The power of transmutation, the power of creation, and the power of love supersedes all of these things, for vibration rules the universe. The rules of this game are they're not going to show you the full end game. They're not going to show you who you really are until you take a step in the direction of, I'm here to serve. I'm here to assist this planet. This planet, this function, this ascension is bigger than I. It is bigger than we. It is for all of us, all sentient beings on this planet above and below the surface. And if it was so easy to do, you wouldn't need that many of us here incarnated to do it, right? So when that call went off for all you guys that have incarnated in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, that was a phone call to the entire galactics and our local group to say, hey, we need to send some all-stars to Earth and fix this fix what's going on down here. Now, many of you guys do know this. Many of you don't. I'm just going to drop it like it's hot because there's a lot of information. All those guys that basically know about the Time Lords and the Time Jumpers, here's what's going on. Whenever you send someone back in time based upon a motivation, okay, because time's happening all in the present with multiple layers of membranes of consciousness and different levels of dimensional frequency and vibration from different points in time. What I'm here to express to you is time always has a way of writing itself, and that bungee cord or that, you keep pulling timelines in directions to serve certain motivations. Well, it's like a bungee cord. You pull it, you pull it, you pull it. Eventually, that thing snaps back into place. Okay? You guys are feeling some of that with the Mandela effect. You guys are feeling some of that as multiple realities and parallel realities are merging together into one circuit or core function. Understanding within those core functions, there are members, there are beings, there are true stewards of this universe which oversee them. They are not confused. What is confused on this planet is the lower and middle management, which doesn't know what to do when their bosses show up. So please do everyone a favor on the light and the night and all of us interacting down here in this duality game. Please, please, please come from your heart. Understand that compassion is what is necessary right now. Compassion is the way, because true unconditional love, right? is truly seeing where somebody is at that conscious level and then remembering, bro, I remember when I thought like that. Or, bro, I remember when I was Debbie Downer Tuesdays. I didn't know we're still doing Debbie Downer Tuesdays, doom and gloom and Armageddon shit. Look, it's a phase. Okay? It's a phase. But when you can look your brother and sister in the eye and see where you were when you carried that belief system, right? That's what unconditional love is, because you don't judge. You're just like, bro, I was like that 5 years ago. Bro, I was like that 6 years ago. You should have seen me when I had a bad day 4 or 5 years ago. So the issue is that it's not to judge.
If I could just interject, I always feel like a judgment that you pass on others is really just a judgment that you're passing on yourself. So I love to practice walking around and seeing literally myself in other people. And it goes right back to that self-love thing and love thy neighbor. But when you can look at someone else and have empathy and sympathy and coddle them as you would your inner child and love them, that is the vibration that we need to be resonating at. And that is the one that's going to help us jump to these higher dimensions, ride rainbows and unicorns. That's what I'm gunning for. I don't know about you guys, but I think we've seen enough of the drama, the negativity. I think we've learned this duality game. Okay, we get it. Beating up on each other doesn't work. Separation doesn't work. So we've learned this lesson. Our souls have evolved, and it's now time to step into the age of the heart, the love revolution. So for me, that's just a practice that I do pretty much all the time. I try to. So I wanted to actually bring up something. It's so funny, right? So I have this thing on pretty much every month. I get together with my girlfriends online, and we have a soul sister, like a FaceTime thing, a Google Hangout, and we just kind of like hang out online, talk about what everyone's going through. And this past Monday we had this, right? So we pulled some cards. Okay. I have this amazing deck. I'm supposed to share this with you. Sorry. If I click, I'm wearing Alexander Mazone's crystal current jewelry, and it may click because I've got lots of gear on. I like geared up for you guys. But we have this amazing deck called The Goddesses and Sirens, right? It's by Stacy DeMarco. Illustrations are by Jimmy Manton. They're gorgeous. They're stunning. And what I really love about this deck as well is, okay, so it describes everything, right? It breaks it down, and then it gives you a little invocation. So there's an action you can take immediately after finding out about whatever card you pull. And there's also in the beginning of it several different ways that you can read these cards. So we pulled a few cards on Monday, and my girlfriends were all saying that they felt this same kind of energetic, like, poo-poo, can I say that? Energetic poo-poo. And this is a group of beautiful, empathic women. So we're all very sensitive. We're like, let's just get together and cry it out. No, we get together and we uplift each other and we share this because I think there's so much power in numbers and knowing that you're not alone. And again, another reason for this broadcast is we are doing this together. So, any hooters, we pulled a few cards. One that comes up is Ishel. Okay, and she's a Mayan goddess, right? I didn't even know about the May 24th thing when I pulled this. So it was kind of amazing. She represents release. And the main quote says, "It is time to release an old belief or bad habit. Imbalances of all kinds will fall away and your pain will soon ease." So that's kind of wild, right? Well, today I am meditating, channeling, centering for exactly this conversation. I shuffle that deck good and hard, and I'm like, what do the people of Heart on Radio need to hear? What goddess is with us today representing? And who do I pull but Ishel? So I would love to just read some of what is said here because I think it's just so apropos. And Rion is wearing a Mayan warrior t-shirt that just came from the Yucatan Peninsula. And there's so many synchronicities. You just have to laugh. You have to giggle. I love taking note of the synchronicities. It is so much fun. My day started with a white butterfly on my hood. You know, like it's everywhere. It's one of my spirit animals, et cetera, et cetera. So, E-Shell. And I keep thinking, E-Shell, my bells, these are the good old jazzy. But Ixchel, the jaguar goddess of the ancient Mayan culture, was the goddess of midwifery, fertility, earth, rain, and the sacred sweat bath. Hot yoga, anyone? I don't know. Widely honored, her cult extended at one time as far as the islands of the east coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. Her myth once focused on the practice of the sweat bath, the place where the elderly went to relieve their age and pain, and Mayan mothers went before and after the birth to ease the delivery. Birth, rain, pain, and sweat baths all indicate a release of some sort, and this grandmother goddess gives wise guidance to the process. Ixchel also holds the water jar of the calendar. Oh, aren't we up on some calendar business today? When she empties it, it symbolizes the flood of rains to renew the earth at the end of the year. Renewing the earth, this ninth wave, again, this is what's happening today, the ninth wave of the unity consciousness. So Ixchel holds the water jar of the calendar, and when she empties it, it symbolizes the flood of rains to renew the earth at the end of the year. She was invoked prior, during, and after birth to ensure a fruitful and safe labor. So we are birthing this new version of ourselves. And so many drawings and stories of her exist in archaeological records. Call upon the releasing powers of Ixchel when you are ready to let something go, like these lower dimensional frequencies, like this 3D. And whether you want to rid yourself of excess weight, a bad habit, a disease, or old patterns, Ixchel is a powerful discharging force. Allow her to help you let go of what no longer serves you so that you don't hold grudges or resentments. These things are negative and they're heavy. So I just thought this was like El Pollo Loco. When I pulled this card, I'm like, how many cards are in this deck? And of all the things, she comes out on Monday and she reemerges front and center May 24th, 2017. On this really important day, more important than, I invite you guys to go look up. There's so many details on it that we can't even, I wouldn't want to break it down, I'd slaughter it. But there's so many details on it. Go look it up. Today is more powerful than 12/21/12. And it's a big representation of where we're headed. And I invite all of you guys to grab your surfboard and ride this ninth wave. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to go ahead and grab your surfboard and some wax and some wetsuits and get ready to ride. So I want to talk about this Mayan function and saying what up to all my spiritual homies over there. And
we have both graded Chichen Itza, BT dubs.
All the Kukulkan and all those guys over there. You know, those
really
all those big guys over there. So a lot of things that are happening on the planet right now. And go. Okay, so different groups have been situated as far as your higher selves have been integrated, and a lot of you guys that have been holding space for quite some time are going to be very much rewarded. Here's the main function. Even though you might have a high intellect or a high manner of energy you can summon or manifest with, here's the main thing. What's your purpose? What's your catalyst? What's your focused? Remember, similar to you are what you eat, you are what you think as well. Understand that for every time you're having your day in, day out, normal functions as down here being a human, understand, right? We all are, right? Every single thing that's being amplified right now, understand that every time you have a negative saying or a negative thought, you're actually calling that into your reality. I want you guys to fully understand that. So every time you guys are in a bad mood, you're calling more bad moods to you.
I literally go into like Jedi ninja mode, and I will see a thought form come into my field. First of all, it may not even be yours. So let's just go ahead and be like, pause. What is this coming into my field? Is this even mine?
Exactly.
You pause, you look at it, and I'm just like, and throw it away. I kind of like, it's like the stock exchange that like rolls by, and I'm like, it's like rolling. There's all these thoughts, and then boop, this negative one comes up on screen, and you're like, I'm just gonna go ahead and sashimi that because that's not mine. That's not reality. That's not in line with love.
Mm-hmm.
Garbaggio, and you just throw it out, and you can. That is such a good Jedi technique to just ninja your mind into a place where you are so conscious and aware of what you're emitting, what your frequency is, what you're allowing, and what you're summoning. What are you calling in? Ooh, gives you goosebumps, right? Because you can call in some good stuff.
Another thing too is visualization of your future, visualization of where you want to be. What I like to do is I keep constantly visualizing on certain projects that I'm undertaking and me accomplishing them. We all have many new responsibilities that are going to fall upon our shoulders, especially those who've been training day in, day out, some for as long as, 10, 20, 30, even 40 years, some of the first waivers that are here now. A lot of those functions and a lot of those responsibilities to also understand that it's time to also delegate. A lot of people I find get very resentful, especially that have been at this light worker deal for the past 30 or 40 years because they feel there's no one else to take the reins if they let go. I'm also here to say those, I like to call them shot callers, so those amazing energetic beings that hold these positions, to also understand to have a network and a system and a family and a group to lean on, right, as a unit, and to also never ask something of someone else that you yourself would not do for yourself. That's another great thing. I get that a lot too. Never ask someone to do something for you that you have not done for them or that you're not willing to do for them. So understand that there is a cause and effect in this specific function. Also understand that your belief system creates your reality. So what I like to think about especially in this ninth wave, let's get back to this Mayan ninth wave. Just imagine the United States. Let's just say there's 50 states. Imagine 50 people, one, pillar of light in each city. Well, imagine everyone on the lower functions of reality are thinking about day-to-day stuff, maybe some political stuff, maybe some work stuff. And then you have one being in that city just promoting this insanely awesome highest level of probability for every sentient being on the planet, bridging the gap, being the true testament of what this test is, broadcasting their frequency through the field, through the cities, of what our true potential as human beings are on this planet. One being per city that's broken through the net. One being per city that across planet Earth that does not follow the grain of these programs, these controls, these controllers, these functions, these enslavers of your soul. Now, what type of world would we live in if all of those beings got what they manifested? Peace, abundance, love, literally castles in the sky, marble floors, everyone's living in an amazing paradiso with, green-friendly products, solar products, everyone's eating vegetarian, vegan. Food's provided for you. You make it for yourself. All of these things that we have at our disposal. And we literally blow these beings of control off this planet as if, blow by them like they're standing still. And actually erase them from the human consciousness as if they never were. Well, I'm here to try to tell you guys there are beings who incarnated who actually have that specific job. We're also here to remind those that are doing naughty things that we're also here to serve you as well, as long as you can learn to play nicely. Okay? Understand that some of us have different bosses. Understand that some of us come from different galaxies. Understand that some of us have a different motivation for incarnating on this planet. Some of us aren't for the Earth experience. Some of us are here to serve the galactics in balancing the sphere, because this is not just a planetary Earth thing. This planet is a part of our solar system, which is thus in part of the local group and our Milky Way galaxy. There are many beings counting on us to do our job. And I don't mean to light a fire under you, but what I am reminding you of is finish strong. I'm reminding you that this is a marathon race, and I'm sitting 1 mile from the end of the race, And I've got Gatorade, I got some water, I got some ice cubes, I got some cold wraps for you, and I'm going, come on, baby. One more mile. Don't stop. Here's the issue. Every time this consciousness on this planet has halted, you know what happens. Think about what happened in the 50s and the 60s. Every time this movement stopped, it just takes about 10 or 20 years, and that negative juju is back all over everything. I'm just trying to tell you on this one, there aren't a bunch of flower kids incarnated. You have galactic beings walking around in popsicle suits, and those of some of the stories that some of these beings have been following for thousands of years are actually walking around in suits right next to you. That's the difference. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of ascended masters, galactic beings, awesome high angelics here right now in the flesh, standing right next to you. There is no above. Above has become below, and below has become above.
This is literally the biggest show in town.
This is the biggest show in the whole galaxy.
And y'all have front row seats.
Yes.
Because you're strong enough, because you're important, because you're a huge piece of this puzzle.
I like to always remember and think about the planet, one of the planets I herald from, which is Andromeda. And I like to think about this planet as kind of like E.T. Real World. And like everyone's kind of like punching in, you know, using different animals. Like, you know, cats aren't from this planet. You know, those guys are perfect little cameras.
Oh my God.
You know, they got cats.
Reporting to the mothership.
You know, you got little birds. There's all kinds of different remote control objects down here. I'm about to blow your, you know, not to tell you too much too fast, but there's a lot of many recording devices down here that are, you know,
recording devices. I catch my cat just like peeking, and I'm like, what are you looking at? You are totally
autopilot,
just funneling information to your mothership. Like, I see you. I see you, cat.
So I'm just trying to remind you guys, this is a little salt and pepper, a little comedy. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm like fire inferno over here. I'm just like, yo, man.
I'm trying not to get burnt.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, with all due respect.
You can't just say that.
You can't just say whatever you want. But I said with all due respect. Just say that we're here to help. A lot of the things that I've actually understood too when I do some of these activations and some of these lower frequency places I've visited to go and grid, you know, different cemeteries, battle zones, the catacombs, the lava tubes in Easter Island, Egypt, all these places that I've had. Remember, my specialty always was old battlefields. That's what I started with, or not started with, but that's kind of my thing. Stuff that everyone kind of forgot about, but in 4D they're still battling, you know, some battle 2,000 years ago. Here's the deal. Just like in life, and just like in sports now, the one person, or many, there might be a couple of them, that are very important in watching a sporting game with two huge forces against one another is the referee. The referee has the power to blow the whistle and go, hey, that was a great, it's time for halftime. Go get some Gatorade, get some water, and have a seat, you know. I don't want to keep saying Gatorade because they're not very good for you. But what I'm trying to say is...
Are you trying to product place?
No, I'm not. I don't even know. I was just... When I was a kid, I played sports.
No, it's got electrolytes. I get it.
Electrolytes. What I'm trying to get to is that some of you guys may find yourself in a position in duality to be that referee. And I also want to say something about Buddha. Okay? Buddha is the man, and I just learned about this recently. Many of you guys know, well, Brahma's the man. I love Brahma. Brahma's the man, okay? But Buddha is also the man, and Big J is also the man. Well, here's the deal. Buddha walked the middle. He wasn't all hippy-dippy-dubby, gumdrops and Skittles land, and he wasn't all Debbie Downer. And when I learned that Buddha walked the middle, it made me feel a lot better about what many of us are doing right now, integrating our higher selves and some of this stuff that needs to be processed and some of this transmutation, our true power and being and force of actually being here, walking in the physical. But that power of transmutation, it takes someone that is living a certain way, has a certain belief system, and thinks that it can never get better, and taking their hand and showing them a new way where everyone wins. I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart that when you guys truly interact with some of these beings and understand the wisdom that courses through them and the age and the energy and the frequency and the vibration and them truly just wanting to help us raise ourselves without doing too much so that we still learn our own lessons. You know, he can't do it all for us. We have to learn why when we make these choices. But understand that love, when you feel it, it's something I can't describe. And the amount of appreciation and thanks I've gotten from the spirit world when I do some of these things, and you know, we're leaving an activation with me and my brothers, and I'm looking behind me with my third eye on, and I'm seeing like all these gnarly, like high angelic beings like waving at me by, like, and like doing like the thank you. I really wish that you guys could actually see or feel what that feels like. It's hard for me to be in this place at times. It's hard for me to be in this suit. It's hard for me to pretend I'm this guy when I come from upstairs and I'm just here helping out. It's weird for me to pretend I'm this physical thing. So when you guys are going through that yourself, I'm trying to be that reflection for you, to understand that our heart's beat is one. And there are beings that are listening to me right now. They go out and do this job, and no one even knows their name or knows what they're doing. But when you guys go out there and hold space, and you guys go out there and promote peace and abundance, you guys go out there and help out these beings here as we help one another, I just want you to know that the courts of heaven and the beings upstairs see everything, and you are very, very much loved and very, very much appreciated, and the whole galaxy is behind us to do this job. That's all I wanted to say.
Wow. Thank you so much for saying that. And I'm a little moved to tears because it is so true. Then there are moments where I do feel like I'm going through the darkness of the night. And when I'm going through some of that, I know all of you guys feel that at one point or another. I think about my brothers and sisters across the planet who are holding the field and holding space and holding that love frequency. And I'm just like in awe of just sheer gratitude. Because it's unbelievable. This is what we're doing together. We're just kind of fractals of this huger, bigger picture. So of course we're all connected, and, aligning our hearts. We are so powerful. So thank you so much for that, Rion. He's good. I think he's tapped out here. That was really beautiful. Thank you so much. So the Mayan calendar, that was our main focus for today. But I'm going to, just to give a little bit of background on who the heck I am. I actually grew up in a very metaphysical background. My mom ran psychic fairs on Long Island for 10 plus years. And she actually had John Edward, if anyone's familiar with the psychic, John Edward, crossing over with John Edward, shout out. He started her psychic fairs when he was like 16 or 17 years old. So I was raised where like grays and government conspiracies and all these things were very like basic knowledge. Fire in the sky, I saw when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and it scared the crap out of me. So I was raised with a lot of this consciousness. And personally, my awakening didn't happen till maybe the 2011, 2012 time frame. I was attracted to astrology and numerology, but my mind wanted something very tangible, scientific. It wanted the facts to back up the feeling, but my empathy, my intuition was always on, so I could feel it resonate. I'm sure a lot of you can definitely identify with that. And I think that's why I started out and wanted to be an actor, because I loved tapping into the heart. I did. I would read a script, I would channel a character, and I could literally feel getting emotional. I could feel that suffering and that pain, that journey. And that's what within that, I felt God's light. I mean, I have no other way of saying it. Then I literally felt that life force that we all have vibrating through us all the time. this light force energy. And I was like, gosh, if I can be moved to tears because of love or empathy or pain or whatever, this beautiful, messy existence, wow, I belong to something so much bigger than I can even wrap my head around at this moment. So that's why I think I became an actor. I loved tapping into that. It just made me feel so alive. But things were pretty successful in LA. Things were going good, and everyone thought I lost my damn mind. But I had, when I left Los Angeles because it just didn't resonate with who I was anymore. And I realized that the jobs I was booking and the things that I was doing was really only feeding an ego and some kind of an image, and it lacked purpose. And to me, this is my purpose. Hard on radio, here with you guys, interviewing amazing brothers and sisters around the planet who are doing beautiful things to help raise the frequency and expand the consciousness and evolve to a more loving, delicious way of existing. So, yeah, that's my story. We laughed, we cried, we said some things, but yeah, it's funny. Leaving was a really tough thing for me. It took me a while to make peace with that because, again, this was something I wanted to do my whole life, and to walk away from that, it'll take you a second. Your ego will really test you. Walked away at like the highest point because I picture it as like I'm like walking down, right? There's like a car that just explodes behind me, and I like throw something at him, just like, I'm done with you, and just like, and it all just like goes down in flames, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And I was only able to do that because I was so determined and moved by the purpose of consciousness back in media. Don't want to bombard you and sell you things that are not good for you and buy into the ego stuff that only makes you feel low. And how many of you like log on to Instagram or whatever and they're like selfies and duck face and oh my God, and it doesn't feel good in your tum-tum because it's not heart space. It's this perpetual cycle we've been doing, and it's like, I think we've seen enough. I think we've reached that point where we are done with that. I know we have because that's why I'm here. That's why you're here. And I'm so thrilled that so many people are turning on, and I can have these conversations like at the grocery store. It's not unusual anymore to bump into people, and everyone's a little more open, a little more curious. The unity consciousness, right? The age of the heart. That's what we are upon. And actually, I feel that it's already here, and it's just a matter of it physically catching up with us. It's already in the energy. It's already all around us. And now it's just like the visual is going to catch up with what we've been feeling. And it's going to be sitting right in front of us. But, obviously with great power comes great responsibility. I hear that a lot, and it's so true. And I do feel like you need to earn the trust of the power. This instant manifestation thing, I think everybody is seeing this like quick turnaround, right? You have a thought, you have an intention, boom, you can call that into it. Positive, negative, whatever it is, you can call that into being. And that's another reason why it's like, wax on, wax off, find peace, sensei, balance yourselves, because that power, you need to earn the trust of that power. Otherwise, things will just go freaking El Pollo Loco. I don't know why I'm saying El Pollo Loco so much today. I don't know. I don't even eat chicken, but but yes. So going off on a tangent here, but I'm so excited. I'm so grateful that you all are tuning in and joining us. We're going to get phone lines up and running at some point. Because we want to hear from you. Like, I want this to be like ground zero. People calling in, sharing knowledge, doing this together. We are just like on a fast, like a treadmill fast pass, like, boom, I'm going to blow this whole thing wide open. I'm so excited. I really feel like it's here entering happened, hey, so that's what we're doing. So I know we're closing in on our last few minutes here. Rion, I don't know if there's anything you want to say.
It's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here tonight. We're going to continue to do our morning coffees with Rion and my brother, Alexander, but we're also going to be doing it in a new format. I'm really excited about that for you guys' visual stuff. But as far as this radio and as far as iTunes and our playlist, we're going to be working on that. So even though you guys are at work, you can keep one headphone in, one, your right ear, your left ear, and we could be in your ear, giving you that higher level of consciousness. Mm-hmm. And we are here in Sedona and Team Light in Sedona and Team Light across the planet. What up, Cyprus and Greece and everyone in the UK and Europe? We're here to actually hold the space and hold the field as a family and actually create this network to not only raise our consciousness, but our families as well, to understand that I kind of feel like our little private radio broadcast is like, I call it the teacher's lounge. It's so like the teacher's lounge, you know. So it kind of feels that, to know that we are pushing day in, day out, to know that, we're all going through these different levels of consciousness and purging and a lot of clearing, but at the same time too, there are bright days ahead. And from our galactics and our family, just know that all of this is working out in our best interest. And the world is waking up to a lot of these false flag things. The world is waking up to a lot of these operations that are no longer hidden. And I just want you to know, to stay in your heart and just understand that everything that's going on right now is known upstairs. Mm-hmm. The issue is that the manner in which you carry yourself, the love you carry in your heart, and everything that's most important. Understand your family is home, your heart is home. I am Rion. It's an absolute pleasure being with you here tonight.
And I am Shauna Ava. Again, thank you all so much, so much for being here. I hope that your heart is officially on. Thank you guys again for listening to Heart on Radio. Love you.
It happens every summer. Stargazers delight in the opportunity to view constellations that can't be seen in winter, while car lovers delight in the opportunity to own one of our stars. At the Mercedes-Benz summer event, you can get the Mercedes-Benz of your dreams for less than you thought possible, like the supremely intelligent E-Class sedan or the awe-inspiring GLC. Don't miss this once-in-a-summertime opportunity. Hurry in to our summer event. Visit mbusa.com to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. It happens every summer. Stargazers delight in the opportunity to view constellations that can't be seen in winter, while car lovers delight in the opportunity to own one of our stars. At the Mercedes-Benz summer event, you can get the Mercedes-Benz of your dreams for less than you thought possible, like the supremely intelligent E-Class sedan or the awe-inspiring GLC. Don't miss this once-in-a-summertime opportunity. Hurry in to our summer event. Visit mbusa.com to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.